Hello, my name is Joy, and today I'll explain what I have done for this assignment. So, for this assignment, I performed both unit testing and regression testing. And for the unit testing, we were made to create six tests. So, in regards to the unit testing, I gave both Maestrati, Maestrali, and Llama the same code and the same prompt. Well, the formatting was a little bit different, but I gave them the same prompts and the same code and then looked at how they generated different answers. So, firstly, I'll quickly go over the Python codes I gave them. So for the unit testing, I gave them quite simple Python codes. So the first one consists of dog and owner and how they interact with each other and a few functions like walk dog. Um, and I also have another one which is for a room and then the length and the width, and then you can calculate the area. And I also have traffic light and certain things with traffic light, like color green go, color red stay, etc. So these are the three Python snippets that were used for all of the codes. And in regard to the class and the sequence diagram, the class diagram took multiple and sequence diagrams took multiple tries for me to get the code to actually produce reasonable results. So for the class diagram, I gave it the role and then I said you are a helpful assistant that creates UML diagrams. Use it from Python code. And then for the class diagram, I said a class diagram and you use this format. And then I would put each of the codes inside the prompt and then it would generate it. And for the sequence diagram, I had to get a little bit more specific because it wasn't generating the right thing a lot of the times. It wasn't good. And so it's similar to the last one. You're a helpful assistant that creates sequence diagrams from Python code. And in this one, I even had to give it an example of what it needs to do. So if object A goes to object B, and method like this and the reverse like this. And then I would insert the Python code. And then I did this for all the three codes. So I have six unit tests. And I just want to briefly go over the coding itself. So first I needed to tokenize the LLM. That's what I did here. This is the prompt that I talked about earlier. And then under it, I had to do input and then get the token from the LLM and apply chat template. So message, this is the prompt, add generation prompt, yeah, and the tokenize it, return dict. So that way I'd be able to get the part I wanted and then return sensor PT and then dot model to device. And so, for instance, this is the MyStrati class diagram. This is how it generated it. It would load checkpoint shards, and then it would say setting pad ID and all of this, and then it would generate the result. And in regards to Llama 3, I used Hugging Face a lot more. The Maestrali relied more, I feel like, on transformers, if I remember correctly. And load.nev, so this was loading the environment. This is the token I generated. I actually stored it in a .env file. And then I said, if no token, error, if token, then login, because I wasn't able to log in my terminal. And so this is it, provider, API, more of the token. This is similar to the last one because it's the prompt. And yeah, I've talked about the prompt before. Um, Let me see. And yeah, that's basically how I did the llama. Um, and one interesting thing to note for the Maestrati is that I set the tokens to 150. It's because when I initially put it at 50, it kept not finishing. And so I had to increase it to 150. And when I put it at 300 or larger or 200, it took such a long time that like over an hour and stuff. And some even like it just wasn't finishing. So I reduced the token size. And quickly moving on to the regressions, I did two testings for the regression. The first one, as I talked earlier, I needed to improve the I needed to improve the detailedness of my prompts. So this is a test with vague prompts versus detailed prompts. So this is one of the first prompts I gave it, which is generate a sequence diagram in ACI art. And then this was quite specific to, for instance, the traffic light. I wanted the prompt to be vague, but this was one of the first iterations. And if you see, this just generates like empty and empty. And then this is the final prompt I used, which is very specific. And then when I used it, I got actually quite a good diagram. It's not perfect, but quite good one. And then the other one was Python length, because initially I was going to use the Python um, files that were given to us in deliverable one. And then I tried multiple times, but it took 1 plus hour or 2 plus hours. It still wasn't done. And it didn't, and so I had to cancel it. But when I reduced the prompt, and what I mean by that is when I was talking earlier about the unit testing and that I used these short codes, when I did it, for instance, with Llama, it took only about 30 seconds at most. And the Mastrali took a bit longer, like maybe 5, 10 minutes. And yeah, it was much faster. So that was interesting. Yes. Thank you for listening to my audio. Thank you.